Hello everyone and welcome back to Talking Reds on a Wednesday in association with Tokyo Time in the year of our Reds 2019. My name, as you probably know by now, is Mo Stewart, and this, just about, is Rob Gutmann. Had a bit of a journey to get here, but
I have, yeah.
You made it.
I was doing some business away,
As always.
doing bits, and I sped down the motorway to make it just in time.
And we are all the more grateful for it.
You're going to be.
Now, the Reds have also been doing bits. Now, obviously, we've been away for a couple of weeks, so we thought we'd try and do a little recap of what's been going on since we last saw you. So, first of all, when we last spoke, we just beaten United. Mourinho just got sacked. We were sitting top of the table, 1 point clear of City, but we had a goal difference deficit of -8. Then we had our Friday night fun in Wolverhampton, which is a sentence that doesn't get said very often, where we got to see Virgil van Dijk score a goal. Gary Neville got to see the man who's going to take his job eventually. And the national TV audience got to see this man, although I'm guessing you probably don't remember a lot about that.
I was fine. Did I not look fine? People said I didn't look fine. I was fine.
He was not fine.
I was fine. I may have had a wine.
If you can get access to that footage, I would very much recommend it.
How ridiculous this assertion is, yeah. Fair play.
Yes, okay. Moving on. Then we had the Boxing Day fun against Newcastle, which was a bit of a bonanza. We got to see the Degsy rocket. We had that enormous eruption around the ground when we heard that City were losing to Leicester. And we got to serenade Rafa Benitez and thank him for Istanbul, which is, it's always nice.
There was winds all around that day, wasn't it? What a lovely Boxing Day that was.
Wasn't it? Like an extra little present under the tree that you didn't realise was coming. And then we get on to the Arsenal game. Hiya, Sam. Sam seems to have been leaving the room for some reason. Now, Arsenal came, they had a bold strategy of, high pressing and attacking, and it got them the lead.
As Klopp said, their strategy was to make it a mad game and hope they could win a bun fight.
I mean, it's a bold strategy when your defence is made of wet toilet paper. And unfortunately, as it proved, our man Bobby decided to take them all for a dance, and there were bodies scattered on the floor like a house party at 6 a.m. It was not pretty if you were of an Arsenal persuasion, but for us, it was fantastic. So now here we are, sitting 7 points? 7 points clear of Manchester City in third. 6 points clear of Tottenham in second. And that goal difference has gone from a -8 to a +2. So all in all, a good couple of weeks' work, you'd say.
Yeah, we didn't see that turnaround coming, I have to say. I don't know if I said it here, but I've said it elsewhere. I about a month or so ago, I said if we're within a point or two of City behind the other side of the game of the Etihad, then with the run-in fixtures we've got, the 17 games to go, I just about fancy us. I think we've got a real chance. If someone said we've got a chance of being minimum 4 points ahead of them, okay, now.
It's a crazy situation, and I must admit, I did think that City would drop points and lose games. I didn't think that they were going to serenely drive off into the sunset, much like they did last season. But 3 defeats in 4, that was beyond what I thought. And like you say, it does mean now that the mentality has changed completely for this game coming up tomorrow. They're the ones with all of the pressure. It sounds ridiculous to say, but we can afford to lose this game. I don't like saying that because I'd rather not lose this game. But it's a crazy situation for us to be in. People have been saying it's our biggest league game since Chelsea at home in 2014. You would go even further than that, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, me and a mate have got a habit of saying to each other, this is our most important game since we won the league, right? And I think only hindsight can prove whether that's true or not. Chelsea 14 didn't turn out so good.
No.
So it's, ultimately not important because it didn't lead to a Liverpool league title. But if we beat City and if it leads to a league title, and there's a hell of a long way to go, there's 17 games to go, so calling it is difficult at this stage. I think we'd come back to look upon it as the most important game of the modern era. Let's call it that. Should we give it that title? It's really hard to judge what kind of a team City are after the last month they've had. Of course, they're very, very good, but they're clearly not the invincible Harlem Globetrotter type different planet team that people thought. I think that the 100 points was giving them that aura. Yeah. The truth is, though, for 12 months, they've been running at about an 88, 89 point average, which is the same as Liverpool, actually. But Liverpool are on an upward curve. They're on a slightly downward curve.
That's the thing.
So who's to say how this plays out? What points do you think wins this league? I'm going to say now, I don't think it's going to take more than 93.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I saw something today that said that Liverpool can still lose 5 games and still accrue as many as 96 points.
Yeah, if they didn't draw another single one side.
I mean, it's possible.
It is, look, a draw, every Liverpool fan should celebrate a draw if at the final whistle it's level as if we won, because it would be a major, achievement's not the word, but a major step towards the Liverpool title. A win would be off the charts. My problem with the defeat is, I wouldn't take it, but I have a nervousness about what happens to us after the defeat. 4-point cushion's still good. We can even build on that. Our fixtures are still decent coming after that. But I just think psychologically, I wouldn't like it to push us, take our momentum away, put doubt in our minds. So we go to Brighton, having been beaten for the first time. We're not quite the strong force in our own minds that we were before, and maybe we get a crappy little draw there and our bubble slightly burst.
Well, and you've got to factor in the FA Cup game against Wolves that happens in between that, where it might be a lot of changes, it might be a bit of a disjointed side we see, so you never know, we might not see the level of performance we've seen from other games. So you can see where a seed can grow into something more dangerous.
Yeah.
So I'm like you, I don't think that it's one of those where we can think, oh yeah, a defeat is completely off the charts, but I mean in terms of where we are in the table.
It's how we react to a defeat.
It's how we react to a defeat. And in fairness, the defeats we have had this season, although in other competitions, we have actually reacted quite well. And I do think we're at a better overall level now than we were at that time. So
we had a spell earlier in this season, although we were always picking up points in the league, where you could look across the competitions and go, I think it was about an 8-9 match spell, where I think we probably only won 3. I think it would be where we had 3 league draws admittedly against big teams, City, Arsenal, Chelsea. We had the defeat in, in Russia?
Belgrade.
The defeat in Belgrade. And the defeat with Napoli. So we did run out of steam. We had it within us earlier in the season to run out of steam a little bit. And I don't want to see that, because I think at this stage, with mainly league games coming up, we just need to be at our best.
Yeah, I think so. Now, we're not going to go too much into the minutiae of the City game, because we've got the preview shows coming out soon. We've got the team talk show that's also coming out soon. So all those are going to dive into all the minute details of who we think is going to play and all that kind of stuff. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to ask you for a heart prediction. What do you think the score will be at the end of this game?
2-1 to Liverpool.
2-1?
Yeah.
Damn it, that's exactly what I was going to say. So yeah,
great minds, mate.
Yeah, great minds. And if you think about that, that's 10 points clear, 17 games to go, only 1 big away game left and 2 big home games, and it would look very, very good from there. It's probably time for us all to take a breath before we get run away with each other. So yeah, let's go and hear from our sponsors.
Tokyo Time is sponsoring Talking Reds for Wednesdays for the foreseeable future, which were made up about. They're a Liverpool company, they're trying to do things differently, they're trying to do things better, a bit like the Anfield rap, and so they've set up only recently, but already got a lot of traction for kind of what they want to do. They helped us out in America, they gave us hats to wear over there, and very much needed they were in that bacon sun next to the pitch watching the Liverpool boys train. So yeah, since then they've come in, they've asked us about doing something a little bit more formal, so that's what we're going to do. So they're going to be sponsoring Wednesdays on the Talking Reds for the foreseeable future. If you're into your baseball caps, you're into your street style, or you know anyone else who is, or you're looking for presents to buy for people, do check out their website. It's tokyotime.co.uk, or follow them on Instagram. They've got loads of styles, something for everyone, and the fit is really, really good. So yeah, cheers to the boys for supporting us. They're supporting us, so do try and support them, tokyotime.co.uk.
Thanks to John, as always, there. Now, obviously, there's something else that's happened recently that's of rather big interest to you and to both of us. It's January, which means the transfer window has sprung open like some old frozen window that hasn't been opened in ages. And
Wow, you painted a picture there, Mark.
Oh, well, you know, I'm in that kind of a mood. Oh, no. You know, it's that first hint of excitement about deals that potentially could be done and all of that stuff. And the first 2 deals that look like they are about to get over the line, both kind of involve LFC in different ways. We'll speak about the first one because that's pretty much the breaking news as you're watching this video right now and eating whatever it is you're eating. Christian Pulisic, long mooted to be moving to us at Liverpool, has indeed signed for Chelsea. He signed for, I believe, 64 million euros, and he will move there at the end of this season.
When Eden Hazard moves to Real Madrid, we will.
Well, that's the speculation. But I mean, I've also heard a lot of noises about the fact that they're trying to use Pulisic to keep Hazard, to say that we're building a new team.
We are putting a 20-year-old who's played 3 times for Dortmund and scored a goal. Stay Eden, or you could play with Marcelo and all those lads. Yeah.
But the interesting part of this deal from the Liverpool perspective is that the rumours were it was only after we ended our interest that the deal was concluded. So what do you make of that, of us saying that, you know what, it's not worth it? Because to be honest, Paul Joyce was saying this in August, that we weren't really interested in him anymore. And yet that kind of rumour was allowed to creep back in, and now we see that it's completely dead.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that if Liverpool wanted this player, Liverpool get this player, because we're now higher up in the food chain than Chelsea. Seems a great thing to be saying, but we are. Might not be that way forever, but just right now it's very clearly the case. And I think Christian Pulisic, who's worked with Klopp, I think in his heart of hearts would love to have moved to Liverpool. So the fact that he hasn't got that move to Liverpool, and the fact that Liverpool have allowed Chelsea, and you can use the word allowed Chelsea to do this deal, suggests that Liverpool have moved on from him in their minds. And there's an argument that over the last 12 months his progress has slowed. Talk of Jadon Sancho overtaking him at Dortmund. The interesting thing from our point of view is, if not Pulisic, then who? Because there is someone out there, whether it's for this January, I'd be surprised if it happened this January, or the summer, there's going to be another attacking player, I feel, coming to Liverpool at some point.
And that's something that we'll be able to pour over in the weeks and days to come, as we're going to be doing plenty of gutter shows that's going to dissect everyone that's linked with us in this transfer window. Now, the other deal I mentioned, which is more of an outgoing, it looks like the loan deal for Dominic Solanke to go to Crystal Palace is almost completed. There's just a case, it seems like there's formalities left in it.
See, that's interesting, that, isn't it? Again, it's if you want a little bit of glimmer of hope that Liverpool might buy another player this window, it's that move, because we're in a title race.
Yep.
You know, any level of injury crisis, you could argue we could need all hands on deck. Although Dominic hasn't got near the team this season, it's been Sturridge and Origi, and Klopp might go, do you know what, it'll serve his and our interest better for him to do this. But if you want to read something into it, Liverpool not taking Pulisic, Solanke going the other way, it could be I'm reading tea leaves that
See,
aren't
this is why I love doing shows with you, because I hadn't even thought of that angle. And there you go, you've managed to massage it around to Liverpool bringing in more players. Which, you know,
more
you're
of a
right.
Gutter show. Subscribe, folks. You know, I can't stress this enough.
He is the gutter genius, the doyen of deals. And I tell you much, that there's going to be plenty more excitement happening in Liverpool's perspective over the time. As for today, we've got a couple more shows coming out. I've mentioned them both, actually. We've got the Team Talk, which is being recorded later once Jurgen Klopp's press conference has taken place in about an hour from now. And we've also got the preview show, in which Robbo is going to be getting really into the City match, working out exactly...
I'm on that with him.
Are you?
Yes.
I would
2
ask...
Robbos for the price of...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Have you recorded it? Have you just finished recording
I've just finished recording it.
Okay, so...
the chair's still warm from me or Robbo.
Is that what that is?
That's what that is. It is Robbo, not me.
Okay. Well, I'll be able to watch the show and work out which
now
one...
you know.
Yeah, I'll be able to work out who was sitting where. You know, I'm not stupid.
No one said that one.
Anyway, as I said, I'm very pleased that Rob was able to come flying down the motorway for this show. We're amazingly pleased to be back doing this again for 2019. It's going to be a fantastic year for Liverpool, and it's going to be a fantastic year for us here at the Anfield Wrap. Pay attention to what we're doing. There's plenty more stuff coming out. We've got more shows coming out. £5 subscription. What more do you want? Look forward to the game tomorrow. See you later.